राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर जीवाने मराने गति आनाहि मोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर कुले केली कदंबेर वना कालिंदीर कुले केली कदंबेर वना रतन बेदीरा पा बोसाबदू जाना रतन बेदीरा सबदू जाना राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर श्याम गौरी अंगे दिवो चंदनेर गंध श्याम गौरी अंगे दिवो चंदनेर गंध चामर दुलावो कबे हेरि मुख चंद्र चामर दुलावो कबे हेरि मुख चंद्र राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर गाथिया माला तेर माला दीबो तोहार गले गाथिया माला तेर माला दीबो तोहार गले अधरे तुलिया दीबो कर्पूर तंबूले अधरे तुलिया दिवो कर्पूर तंबूले राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर ललिता विशाखादि जत सखी वृंदा ललिता विशाखादि जत सखी वृंदा अज्ञाय कोरिबो सेवा चरण रविंद अज्ञाय कोरिबो सेवा चरण रविंद कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दासेर अनुदास। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दासेर अनुदास। सेवा বিলাস করে নরোত্তম দাস। সেবা বিলাস করে নরোত্তম দাস। রাধা কৃষ্ণ প্রাণ মোরা যুগল কিশোর। রাধা কৃষ্ণ প্রাণ মোরা যুগল কিশোর।
Thank you very much, Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, for playing a wonderful song. Today is also a very auspicious day, the Panihati Chida Dahi festival. So we should dwell on this festival. Panihati Chida Dahi festival, also known as Chip Rice Festival or Danda Mahotsav, Festival of Punishment, is celebrated yearly on 13 days of the full moon in the month of Jyesht. Behind this festival of punishment, there is an intriguing story of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami and Lord Nityananda Prabhu. This story narrates the aesthetic love of God and his benevolence toward his devotees and religious maniac. The waterish devotion and ecstasy of loving God are totally transcendental. The godly Raghunath Das. Srila Raghunath Das was born 1495 in Krishnapur near Saptagram. His father was a wealthy, opulent Jamindar, Govardhan Majumdar, whose family's affluence and prosperity were equivalent to that of Dev Indra. Raghunath Das was one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan who was not interested in the mundane and materialistic world. He always found himself detached from this materialistic world and wanted to abandon all the material pleasure of this world at a very early age. He was looking for a life full of spirituality. So the first meeting of Nityananda Prabhu and Raghunath Das, the time arrived when Raghunath Das ran to meet Lord Nityananda Prabhu for the first time when he came to stay in Santipur after renunciation. Raghunath Das expressed his desire to leave home and devote his life to serve Lord in front of Nityananda Prabhu. But he denied him to do so and said, quote, "Within your heart, you should keep yourself very faithful, but externally, you may behave like an ordinary man." What a wonderful instructions. Thus, Krishna will soon be very pleased and deliver you from the clutches of Maya. You may see me at Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, when I return after visiting Vrindavan. By that time, you can think of some trick to escape. What kind of means you will have to use at that time will be revealed by Krishna. If one has Krishna's mercy, no one can check him, unquote. By his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Madhya Leela, chapter 16, text 236 to 239. By hearing this, he gave up the idea of renunciation and engaged himself in his routine without any interest. The reason calling it Danda festival or the festival of punishment. In this way, 2 years passed, and one day Raghunath Das heard that Nityanand Prabhu had come back again and stayed in a nearby village named Panihati. Raghunath Das took the permission of his father and went to see Nityanand Prabhu. He reached Panihati village and saw that Nityanand Prabhu was sitting on a rock under a huge banyan tree, which yesterday Radhanath Swami Maharaj was sharing with all of us. The still the tree is there. If you want to visit that place, wonderful. Which is next to the river Ganga and was surrounded by his devotees. Many kirtaners, performers, and followers were there. So Raghunath Das was surprised to see the magnificence of Nityanand Prabhu. Actually, Raghunath Das Goswami was hesitating to go forward to see him, as he thought himself to be unqualified and paid his obeisances from a distance. So some of the devotees noticed Raghunath Das and informed Nityanand Prabhu about him. Lord Nityanand Prabhu called him and said, quote, "You are a thief. Now you have come to see me. Come here, come here. Today I shall punish you." Unquote. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 647. So Raghunath Das was hesitating to go near the Lord. And Nityanand Prabhu ordered his servant to catch him and present Raghunath Das in front of him. The gracious Lord put his lotus feet on the head of Raghunath and said, quote, "You are just like a thief. For instead of coming near, you stay away at a distance place. Now that I have captured you, I shall punish you." Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 6.50. Quote, "Make a festival and feed all my associates yogurt and cheap rice." Unquote. Hearing this, Raghunath Das was immensely pleased by heart. Chaitanya Charitamrita 6:51. So the arrangement made for the huge celebration of this festival. So Raghunath Das instantly sent his men to bring all the ingredients and eatables, items, and made arrangement for the great celebration. Cheap rice, bananas, milk, sweet dishes, yogurt, and many more edible items were brought. Even though Nityanand Prabhu only asked for the cheap rice and yogurt. This is something that we should, as Maharaj was saying, that we should do with love from our heart. We should not just serve, but we should go much deeper and do much better than what even our spiritual master or Krishna asked us to do. That's love. And, I think in the evening, Maharaj said that, and it touched my heart, that when the child cries or child is sick, mother don't think about taking rest at nights. She take austerities to make sure that her children is comfortable. So the mother took that austerity, not taking any sleep at night. But what they feel in their heart, they become so happy that at least because of my care, my child is now safe and sound and, like a normal situation. So we should also, if we have the real love for Krishna, all the obstacles, we should take it happily. And that when we do these obstacles or face it nicely, you will get immense happiness in your heart. I have experienced some of the things in my life. So as the people heard that a fabulous festival will be celebrated, all the Brahmins and villagers started coming to enjoy this festival. When we have to cook the Sunday feast, we'll always see how many people will come and we'll cook accordingly. Over here, there is no count how many people will show up, and still they serve them nicely because they do with such an intense love. So Krishna fulfilled it. We have the story that the uh, what is the Muni? I forgot the name. Durvasa Muni. So he came with so many of his followers. And Draupadi had a boon that if still some grains is there in the pot, she can feed thousands and millions of people. That's the boon Draupadi has it. But Durvasa Muni came right after they finished everything. Nothing was there. And Draupadi was in an intense anxiety. So the Durvasa Muni said, we are going to go and take a bath in Ganga and we will come back. Knowing that anxiety of the devotees, Krishna is always take care of the devotees. So what happened? Krishna appeared. And then he saw one grain was left in the pot because they finished just the eating, but they didn't clean all the pots. So Krishna, by his mercy, just feeding that, Durvasa Muni and all his followers was completely satisfied. So they even never came back to Draupadi to ask for the food. So impossible thing can become possible with our true love and affections. Krishna is so kind. He just wants to glorify his devotees. We just have to take little risk with some faith. And you will see how Krishna react to each situation so wonderfully. So here, there was no count how many people will come. And a great number of people arrived from the village itself and also from the nearby villages too. Seeing the crowd, Raghunath Das ordered more items and large earthen pots to put those items so he can serve all the Vaishnavas. At one place, cheap rice was soaked in hot milk in large earthen pots. And half of the rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas. And the remaining half of them got mixed with condensed milk, flavored with camphor and butter. Just imagine this beautiful festival scene. We should, when we read something, we should try to see in a reality what is happening. And our Acharya elaborately explains so nicely. So if we put little effort and we can see the drama, what is going on, we can really, and then we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can really get into that pastimes easily. After all this delicious food was ready to eat, Lord Nityananda Prabhu returned wearing new clothes and sat down on a raised platform. 7 large pots with cheap rice were bought and placed in front of Nityanand Prabhu. And on that platform, other prominent associates gathered with him to take the prasad of chipped rice. Lord Nityananda ordered other learned scholars, brahmanas, and priests, and invited them to sit with him on the raised platform. How kind they are, we can see it. If you do little seva, they become so pleased. So 2 earthen pots served with 2 kinds of cheap rice given to all other devotees and associates who were present there. Other devotees sat on the ground because so many people came for that festival from the nearby villages. So they sit around the raised platform. We can visualize the scene surrounding Lord Nityanand Prabhu. And when the place became full, even though all the village open space, completely, as far as you can see, all the people were completely absorbed and it was completely full. And people did not get to sit, some of them. They went to the bank of river Ganga with the 2 pots. And when the river bank also got filled, and there was no vacant place to sit, just imagine. So people got down into the Ganga water and began eating their cheap rice. 20 men were employed to serve the food at the bank of Ganges. Such was the scene of the festival celebration. So divine pastimes of Nityanand Prabhu with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at this festival. When cheap rice was served, all Nityanand Prabhu meditate and brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrives, Lord Nityananda stood up. They were both standing together and watching how the people were enjoying the festival with cheap rice. Then, experiencing transcendental bliss, they both moved around among the devotees, wandering around the huge crowd and also at the bank of Ganges. So Nityanand Prabhu took morsel of cheap rice from each devotee's pot and fed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his own hands. In the same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also pushed some morsels of cheap rice in the mouth of Nityanand Prabhu. People could not understand what Nityanand Prabhu was doing because no one could see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only like Radhanath Swami was saying, that if our eyes is tinged with love, then and then we can see those personality. Otherwise, we will never see. Only thing we will see what Nityanand Prabhu is doing. So only some fortunate could see the presence of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, Mahaprabhu there. Experiencing the pleasure of this scene, a smile came on the face of Nityanand Prabhu. Then he sat down with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and offered him a full pot of cheap rice to eat. They both together were eating the cheap rice as if Krishna and Balram themselves are eating. Then Lord Nityanand Prabhu ordered, quote, all of you eat, chanting the name of Hari, unquote. Suddenly the whole universe reverberated with Hari Hari. The remnants left by the Lord were distributed among devotees, associates, and followers as prasad. As we were fortunate enough to get some Maha of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and now we can get from Giriraj Swami Maharaj also. In this way, Nityanand Prabhu blessed Raghunath Das and showered his grace upon him. Raghunath Das was fortunate that the Lord himself came to eat cheap rice served up by him. The leniency and mercy of the Lord are enigmatic. Remembering the mercy of Lord Nityananda on Raghunath Das Goswami, we celebrate this cheap rice festival or festival of punishment every year. Devotees visit the Panihati on this festival, which is today's West Bengal near Kolkata city. As Maharaj was saying, when we come from the Kolkata to Mayapur, it's very close. And I think that's where that also the Advaita Acharyas was staying there also in the close by, because uh, when we were going from Mayapur to Kolkata, then I saw the desire that I want to visit that place, but it was early flight, so we went there around 5 o'clock in the morning, so everything was closed, but so many mango trees, nothing else but the mango trees, and that seems to be very close, but we didn't visit that Panihati place. So chief prize distributed among visitors and devotees as prasad on this festival. Do visit the Panihati with your family whenever you visit Mayapur Dham, and enjoy, remember these pastimes, how it happened. Just remember this, spend some time at that place, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu may manifest if you have a pure heart to visualize even that pastimes. So we should completely surrender ourselves in the God devotion. And when we become purified, as our Acharya has all related, because they can see even though they were not present at some of these festival and the pastimes. Why? Because they carry the true love for the divine couple. And the divine couple give them all this information so they can even visualize that this cheap rice festival is going on at this moment. So it's a very good auspicious day. And also this is a very aesthetic love of God. We can see how he cared for the devotees. Then we have seen in the life of Raghunath Das Goswami, how actually he became completely not depending on anyone. I was reading, I don't know which book I was reading, but it says that devotee, we should never ask anything from anybody. And I'm trying to practice, it's very difficult. Don't ask anything. If it comes something, accept it. Otherwise, don't expect anything from anyone. At least we should practice a little bit whatever Acharya has set forth in their life and exhibited. So with those thoughts, always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And whoever you come across, give them a kind word, that their life can also become jubilant and totally fearless. With those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the dusk of these wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, that I'm a useless person, I'm a retired person, I have nothing to do, but those great devotees working hard, helping, show the deities, Vaishnavas and everything, and still they join. So my heart get melted. So I would like to offer my humble obeisances to those devotees who joined from Houston, from India, New Jersey, Boston, Virginia, Boise, St. Louis, Alachua, Montreal, College Station, San Jose, Tempe, Arizona, Detroit, Brampton, Ontario. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu vaja patitanam pavane bhyo vaishnavi